Good morning. Well, you found me in my happy place down here on the back of my acreage, uh, albeit very, very soggy. A lot of rain. Our spring appears to have come late. Here we are in mid July, and it's still raining. So, I got to thinking about the weather changing, how much it's changed for me just since I've been on this hill for last 7 years. And it made me start thinking about change. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. You know, change can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing, but it's going to be one thing every time, and that's change. It's going to be different. That's why they call it change, I guess. But I found through life, I didn't learn it till later. I was told this theory many, 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 many years ago when I was a youngster, but it didn't take. It took years of hardship for me to figure it out. But the advice I got one time was, regardless of what happens, keep your boat on an even keel. What the heck does that even mean? Well, if you can get in your mind the picture of a big sailboat, huge sailboat, it has a mast that runs up from the center up to the skies that the sails all ride on. And whether you know it or not, the same thing is happening below the waterline. There's a huge part of the boat that's underneath there, and it can go left, it can go right. Too far right, turn the boat over. Too far left, turn the boat over. But right in the middle, it keeps the boat on a straight line. The captain of that boat can change that with the steering wheel or with the way the sails are hitting the wind or hitting the sails, but it's still change. So there's several things that change brings to mind with me. One is the saying that the more things change, the more they remain the same. The other one is turbulent change cannot change the inner soul. So it's that inner soul that we have to control. When change switches us off one path onto another, guess what? We're the ones that get to decide how that impacts us. We can't perhaps control that change, but we can control how it impacts our lives. Does that make sense? So when change comes up into your life, do that real quick thought. How does that affect me, really? I mean, does it affect me to my core that I have to change everything I am? Perhaps. But sometimes change is good. So if this change is trying to make you change from being an alcoholic to a sober person, perhaps you should listen to the change. Follow the path the change is setting out for you. If it's trying to change something in you that is good because of external factors such as friends or opinions or whatever, don't let that affect your spirit. Let that change go. Because you can't control the change. You can control how it affects your life. I realized that I have a soft spirit, and I hated that at first. I hated it because everything affected me. But I've become to understand that softer spirit, if you will, helps me with my compassion with people, my empathy or sympathy, whichever the case may be. So keep your boat on an even keel. If you need your path to go left, let the keel take you left. If you need to go right of where your present path is, let your keel take you to the right. But if you believe in the path you're on, then fight for it by keeping your boat on that even keel. External changes do not have to disrupt our spirit. About the only thing that will let that happen is you. You're in charge of your spirit. So, just a little tidbit on change, or my thoughts on change anyway. If you're going to worry about change, how about this? How about worry about how you can change your life? How about worry about how you can change the world? Wow, think about that a minute. That's not as hard as you might think it is. You run into a grocery store and you see your cashier, for instance, and you can tell she's having a bad day, and she would rather be anywhere where she's at, or he. and you show that person some kindness just with your gestures and the way you treat them, you may have changed that person's day. Who knows? Could change your outlook. So when change hits you, my friend, embrace it. Critical think it. Is this change I want to change my entire spirit, my entire life? If not, let it go. We can't control change. What we can do is we can mitigate how it affects our lives, how it affects our spirit. So, I think that's for the What It's Worth department. You guys have a great day, and goodbye from the hill.